Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the Bordercast. We are live once again at our usual time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tessichka, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
We hope you've had an amazing holiday season thus far. And speaking of, that means it's our end of the year show time. So that is where we recap everything that this year in Borderlands has held. And we do it with some of our stream team pals.
Hi, you guys. Welcome, welcome. We have Tweety and Moxsy and Mystique, and we do have Killer 6. We promise he's there. He's pulling the jolts on us. Yes. The internet has forced us, but we have him here.
Jolts did it first.
Jolts did
it. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. From Bunkers and Badasses to Maurice's vending machine, we're going to break down all of the year's highs, lows, each patch, each new edition, all in celebration of a whole new year on Pandora and beyond. Thank you so much for joining us. We super appreciate all of you guys that are watching, that are listening on all the platforms. We had some technical difficulties at the start, but we're good to go now. So thank you for being here and for your epic patience. You guys are amazing.
Indeed. And as to all of you, as we always like to say out there in TV land, we like to take a minute to thank our new listeners on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, and those watching right now live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Steam, or later on the VOD on YouTube. And if you are enjoying the program, we would love for you to give us a big old like, follow, or favorite. You know what? It's the end of the year. Just insert your reasoning for why you should do it wherever. Think of it like a Mad Lib, a promotional Mad Lib. Just whatever you think that you should like this show, just put it in there. And you know what? Say it in the comments section, I guess. That'd be a good way to do it, too. That way I know why you like this show. We'll just hammer all those points home. Anyway, thank you to all 4 of you for joining Tess and I on this, the end of the year recap. It's so nice to have you. We have so much to discuss, so let's get right to it. The Borderlands board game. I'm so happy that all 4 of you are here this time. I kind of feel like I'm on an island because I threw down really hard for the Borderlands board game. Please tell me one of you 4 has also done so.
Oh, Mystique, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm a poor girl. But my boyfriend surprised me, and he was like, "Hey, by the way, I got the best edition for you on this board game." And that was like when it first happened, which I think when it first happened, it was just like the true badass one. Mm-hmm. But then he accidentally ordered 2 of them. On accident. and so he was like, I don't know if I can change it. And he's like, you might have one to give away. But then he was able to change it. And he upgraded it to the better one, the best one.
Nice. Oh, the ultimate badass edition?
Ultimate badass edition. And he also got the loot explosion thing. It was like the extra add-on thing. I think it was like a book or whatever. Yeah, so he got that too. But so it comes with, and he did it within the first 48 hours. So he gets the Waddle Gobbler and all that stuff. So
and Steve.
Yes, I'm super excited for all the little extras. Like, it's gonna be a huge box. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I showed it on screen very briefly just now. It is a huge box. There's a ton of stuff, and there is an option to be a late pledge. So for those of us like myself who could not get it before, hopefully there's still time to back it. So definitely, if you're getting this, there's so much in it. There's so many different options for pledges, small and large. It's amazing. I want to play it with everybody in person, hopefully someday. But it's a really cool, humongous kit of things. Like, there's so much to it. It's amazing.
If we ever actually like meet up somewhere, I'll see if I can like lug it with me.
Oh my God, so fun.
Yeah.
You need a suitcase for it itself.
Yeah, probably have to pick and choose what I bring.
Yeah, right.
No clothes.
The Ultimate Vault Hunter pledge, if I may, if you are a late backer, includes a ton of stuff, including, of course, the core game itself, Skags at the Gates expansion, 15 Skag miniatures, all the free stretch goals, which include Badassosaurus Rex and Piston in the Ultimate Vault Hunter pledge, should you do it, the Robot Revolution with what? That looks like 15 or 20 new claptrap things that you can have, a tink camp full of tons of tinks of all varieties, an acrylic token pack, Borderlands objective packs, both 1 and 2, an obstacle pack, the loot explosion guide that MystiqueSiren just mentioned. Let's see, there is the best minion ever pack, and they threw this in at the end after having Krieg and Gage and Axton and Clones and Zane and Flack and Pets and everything else that they threw at you for all those different statues that you can get for being a backer. They also said, fudge it. Let's throw Moxsy in there for free. So Moxsy's in there now too. And I don't mean you, Moxsy. I saw that wave.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I love that
Not
confusion.
you.
I think that confusion is one of the best parts of Borderlands. The confusion of Moxsy and Moxsy. Like someday I want to see them together next to each other. Like maybe one of the cosplayers and our Moxsy like just hugging or something. It'll be really confusing and awesome. Please, one of the amazing cosplayers, make that happen. Just go hug Moxsy.
At the movie premiere, you have to have Gina Gershon stand next to Moxsy.
Oh my god, yes, please.
Can we have Moxsy cosplay as Moxsy?
Oh my god, that would be really confusing.
What would that take, Moxsy? What would that take to get you to cosplay as Moxsy?
I don't know.
No, I got it. I got it. Here's what you do, right? In May, St. Jude Play Live Summit.
Yeah.
Throw down $50,000 stretch goal. If they hit it, you got to do it. Make it for St. Jude.
Yeah, for the kids. You got to do it for the
Yeah,
kids.
for the kids.
Just
I feel so bad because we're
can help
putting
you.
it on blast here. But that's an idea. It's an idea.
Yeah. Honestly,
I'd do it for
that would be
one
fun.
I'm sure
For
the
one sub.
If they make the outfit in my size, because I've looked it up before, and usually the sizes are.
well, I
for
guarantee
me.
you. Yeah, I was just gonna say, Jesselyn Cupcake, who's hanging out in the Twitch chat, just said, I'm gonna screenshot this. She says I can make him a custom outfit. So $50,000 for the
Damn
kids,
it.
and Moxsy and Jesselyn are getting together, making it happen. Thank
I'm
you,
just
Jess.
saying, one of the most prominent members of our sister community over Dado has dressed up as Moxsy before too. So
Yep.
we got to get in the game here.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Yeah.
Bring it. Let's do it.
Yes,
You heard it.
boy.
You heard it.
Let's go. I
50K.
can 100% make this happen. Yep,
Yes.
she's on it.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be so good. I can't wait for the pictures in the video. Oh my god.
You know what's even better when he's got to do the makeup.
Yes.
I want to see the makeup.
Oh.
Yes. It's gonna be so
what are they going to do
good.
about your beard? They've got to
Don't
cover that
shave
up
it.
too.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a bearded Moxsy.
I think
Yeah.
I think the beard it will be included in
Yeah,
that cosplay.
I think-
most
I think-
likely.
I think it has to. There's a way. There's always a way. Where there's a
There's always
will,
a way.
there's a way, and there's definitely a will in this community. So.
But his name is Moxsy.
Yeah.
Hold on, somebody car
Moxsy, if
crashed
you
me
need
for
me
that. That
to-
was bad.
Moxie, if you need me to come measure your inseam, let me know.
Wow. All right, so we've already started a train wreck from a board game. Moving
Sorry.
right. No,
Sorry
this
I
is
brought
phenomenal.
it up.
It was gonna happen regardless. Moving right along, Maurice's vending machine has transferred locations once again. Does anybody offhand know where it is, real quick, or should I just announce
course
it based
Moxsy
on
knows.
where it
Moxsy,
is?
yeah.
Moxsy.
We found it. It's on Electricity, right where Moxie's bar is.
Oh, my favorite.
It's got
place.
the
Oh, perfect.
Lob Monocle and Old Ridian.
It's a lob.
Nice. Ooh,
Yeah, the Lob.
Very nice. Cool. Worth
Oh.
worth a trip. Also, Electricity is like one of the best places in the world. You should definitely go there if you haven't already. Somehow, if you've been living under a rock, it's just a nice place, and you can get good things there.
Yeah.
You need to look at
and-
Moxsy.
Yes.
And you can look
Other
at Moxsy.
Moxsy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lob, I can't say enough good things about it. If you haven't gotten one yet, it is a super fun gun to use. Definitely take the time to at least get one and experience it in Borderlands because it's super fun and you will probably love it.
What a glow up that weapon had.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the beginning of the
For
game.
real.
Yes.
Everyone's like, ew. ew, what is this? And then it turned to give it to me.
When you get an
knob.
arms race,
You're set.
pretty good.
I would say don't sleep on the monocle either. That thing with ties that bind a Mara or a flak, you can do some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
I miss when I use snipers, so I'm like K6 when I use snipers. I miss constantly.
Oh.
I don't
You're
know
not
what you're talking
K6 all
about.
the time.
So if you're not K6 or MystiqueSiren, then you should definitely get the monocle. Just saying.
I feel like the monocle is probably a little overlooked, all things
Yeah,
considered.
there
We
are
don't
a
usually
lot
talk
of-
about it.
It's underappreciated. Underappreciated. So go
would
get
agree
you
with
one.
It's so much zoom though.
Extra zoom. It is.
That's my only caveat or things I don't like about it.
I get yelled at when I'm using it because I hip fire most of my guns, even snipers. And so I'm just sitting there hip firing the monocle and I get yelled at in chat. And I'm like,
You
leave
do
me
that.
alone.
Yeah, hip firing is so nice, but yeah, with snipers, it's just hard because I feel like snipers block your field of view, but there's a time and a place for them. There's a time and a place and a play style for everyone in this game, which is actually a really, really underscored fact by a tweet that Moxsy put out and a YouTube video that he made recently. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but
No, that's fine. It's good.
yeah, there's a lot more balance in this game than I think anybody realizes. Moxsy did a poll on Twitter, and what were the percentages? Let's see if I can. I think I have this open. Actually, I do. So, Moxsy asked, Borderlands 3 launched September 13th, 2019. It's now almost 2022. In these 2.5 years or 2+ years, which Vault Hunter is your most played character of all time? This is a question to the community, right? Kind of curious to see the result. Moxie's was Amara, of course. Mine was Moe's, of course. But Moe's had 28%, Amara had 24% overall, Zane had 25%, and Flak had 24%. And that's 15,000 votes. This isn't like a tiny sample size. That's a huge number. First of all, huge congrats for getting that many votes on your poll, Moxsy. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's like scientifically accurate, I think. It's amazing. But yeah, that kind of balance is absolutely crazy. Like absolutely crazy that, 2 years in, people have this evenly spread out amongst the characters, right? And a lot of people have tried all the characters. I know a lot of us on the team have because we just played the game so much, but I think just a lot of people in general, more people than in previous games, have tried all of the characters, and it's so evenly spread. And that just speaks to how much they've optimized and balanced and the variety of play styles that all the characters can accommodate. Because I know, like, I play super differently than Moxsy plays, for example, right? And K6 and Mystique maybe can't use snipers, but they actually play pretty differently, right, from each other. And like Mitsu's totally Zane, 1000%. I used to be Amara, but I'm now all about Moe's. And Tweety plays another way, right? And like she likes to find secrets and do all these different things. And everybody just has a different play style. And this game can accommodate all of them with all of the characters, and that is incredible. They've done such a good job with it.
If
I didn't get to vote, so tack one on there for Amara.
Get it all to 25. If I remember correctly, there was a poll in the Reddit subreddit before the game launched about what character you were going to play, and I based part of my decision off of this. That's why I remember it, but it was like 40% were going Flak. So interesting that evened out, and it was like maybe 15 to 18% were going Amara. Probably the reason I picked Amara first, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy that it's even now like that, and all the like everyone's like, oh, what's the best character? Like they're all, you can literally do all the content with all of them.
Yeah, it is crazy that it evened out so much, because I remember that too. Even I started with Flak, and I love Amara, and I really love Moe's. I didn't start playing Moe's until about a year ago, about a year in or so.
Moe's was my last character I played. I played all of them before I played Moe's, but Moe's is my second favorite.
I blame Triple G. He made GT Shorty, and the rest is literally history.
I remember that. That was thanks to Ultimate Vault Hunters, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So much cool stuff has happened in the last 2 years, you guys. We're going to talk about it more, but my heart is full this year. This end of year, my heart is very full. It's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Moxsy also, by the way, has actually produced an end of the year recap video. That's very cool. I do have it pulled up to show people. I don't know if we want to play the whole thing or should we? Is there like a favorite moment?
Well, so we don't get a copyright strike. Let's ask Moxsy. Moxsy, do we have permission to play your video here on the Bordercast?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
No, by the way, there's no pressure. Like,
yeah, of course you can play it.
Thank you. Oh, it's super low. I'm so sorry.
Yo guys, what is up? Max on a Borderlands 3 video, and today we are taking a look back at Borderlands 3 in 2021. There were so many different crazy moments, patches, content drops, nerfs, buffs that happened this year, and this video serves to look back at all those things, especially because we're moving on from Borderlands 3 realistically, going to be moving on to Wonderlands in 2022, and this game is so special to me and so special to other people, so I want to highlight some of the best moments from some of the most awesome people in the community. I hope you guys enjoy the video. It took a lot of effort to find all these clips, and if you do enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and also go follow all the awesome creators that were featured in this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get right into the video.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Look at this. The
I see a
damage was
K6.
2,996 times 2. It is now 19,174 times 2. That is a buff.
Does anyone know what the chance of it to fall out of my hand is? Oh, no, no, no! Hey, we finally get the director's cut and our first ever proper Borderlands 3 raid boss. I am so excited. I've been waiting for a raid boss for so long, and I cannot wait to see what's in store with us. Next up, vault cards and the rewards, daily challenges, and multi-tiered weekly challenges. Those will be in your like events tab.
Yikes. Alright boys, it's looking grim. I don't think we're gonna get one in here. No, 3 chests to go. Well guys, I guess I will just go ahead and start outro this video.
Look what you have.
Ah, let's get it, let's go! Okay, I'm going to Sanctuary, I'm going to Disney Sanctuary, bro. I'll see you.
Today, we're taking a look at the new black market vending machine. Now, this is very similar to how Xur works in Destiny. This is a vendor that'll be changing locations to a random part of Borderlands every week and is going to be carrying some of the best gear in the game.
There might be a better option than this, but I can tell you without a shadow of the doubt, this is definitely one of the top 5 shields in Borderlands 3.
Shield is essentially a love letter to all of those who love the B Shield in Borderlands 2, and not even like the final version of the B Shield. We're talking like the very first version of the B Shield before it got nerfed. It's crazy strong, it's crazy good, and it's a must-have for all 4 Vault Hunters in my opinion.
Constantly recharge my shield but for Bloodletter, but that's harder than for me.
Nice.
What? Okay, I guess what? This is awesome.
Maurice is here, and it is a battle of the ages. It is a fairly decent length fight. Expect to be in this fight for 3 or 4 minutes.
Lazy, just being a ridiculous badass, of course.
Lazy things.
Always.
Schultz things too. This is such a great video, Moxsy. Thank you so much for letting us show it and for making it for the community. That's so nice.
Today I've got some really exciting news. The reveal for the new game from Gearbox and 2K was just tweeted out. We know when it's going to be announced or revealed. It turns out, it seems like it's a reference to the alignment system in Dungeons and Dragons, which is super interesting. My goodness, this trailer is so amazing. We've been asking for like melee weapons in Borderlands 3 or Borderlands for so long, and the fact that this could be a game that introduces melee weapons into Borderlands or a Borderlands-esque spin-off makes me so excited. So to start us off, Vault Card number 2 drops today, which is Borderlands, basically like equivalent of a season pass. Forward to these, I really, really want to know what this artifact is. Holy mother of God. What is that? Oh my goodness, it looks like pre-nerf.
Says enemies drop extra cash when killed, and when we pick it up, we get 10% more fire rate and mag size. I can't imagine this one's going to be that great, but let's see what it does here. So, right off the bat, this thing sucks. Really bad. Oh, wait, is that cash? Oh, we have cash. There we go. Okay, we got cash. We're going to pick it up. And oh yeah, look at that. Oh my god, now we have a... Oh my god. Oh my goodness! This thing fires faster than I do when I have to sit.
Today we've got some exciting Borderlands news. There is a new Gearbox created and run community challenge that starts in 2 days that is going to task players with killing hundreds of thousands of enemies and bosses across the galaxy in order to win cool prizes.
Yeah. This is your end.
Well.
Clap. Oh man.
It's the third and final vault card for all players who own the Director's Cut. That's DLC 6, in case you're wondering, or the second half of Season Pass 2 if you bought Season Pass 2. This adds a toggle for True Trials event. Nice. That gives us a nice additional in-game challenge.
Oh no. Oh no. Old Blade Fury.
So good. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Oh, oh, oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Maurice Hunt. Oh my.
It's over.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't think anyone does.
Oh, can you fix your face?
Oh my god.
Oh
It
my
needs to be an
God.
emote.
Yes,
It needs
it
to be an emote,
does.
please.
I want that. Please.
Oh my god.
See, we have K6's face on the stream today.
I love Triple G's reaction.
Yes.
I love it so
Screams. That's it.
I love it. It was like interrupted screams. It was like,
Yeah, some more screaming. So good.
hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, hollow.
So
I had
cute.
the same reaction with Remnant after it got nerfed.
Oh no.
With the Seer, I had that same exact reaction.
Oh.
Like that. Yeah.
That was a 5 trillion HP Grave Ward. That's
Oh
why I
my
was excited.
God.
It's a lot of damage.
So much. Quag. Oh my god, what is happening here?
Yeah, I was wondering when I was watching
Quag, what did you do?
this. Yeah.
Oh, 138,000 for St. Jude. Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So good. So good. Seriously, here is to 2022. Thank you so much, Moxsy, for making that video, for putting all that together, and for letting us show it here on the Bordercast. We are so lucky to be in this community and to be able to like bring you guys cool stuff from the community and bring you news. We've been so lucky to do that and to talk about all the news, to talk about all the things. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. It's just been an incredible ride.
it's a very fun video to make. I like doing it. The thing that's tough is there's so many people in the Borderlands community. I tried to get everyone that sent me clips in it, but like there's creators on YouTube, for example, that make tons of Borderlands videos that I don't see on Twitch or don't see on Twitter, and there's so many cool people that make content. So it's a lot of fun.
It's a good problem to have when there's just too many good people in the community, right? But yeah, just a huge shout out to absolutely everybody that has participated in all of the hunts and raised money or donated their time or funds or anything at all. You guys are all amazing. We'll talk about the hunt more in a little bit, but we're just so lucky to get to raise money for kids. It's insane. And as a community, this community has done so much. It's a family and it's an amazing one.
Yeah. So we've seen a recap video, and obviously we're gonna get a little bit more in depth into that. But I figured because we are a community of nerds who love stats, I would ramble off a bunch of stats provided by the impeccable Mario Rodriguez, or Drigma, if you've ever seen him in chat. Yes, I just blew up his spot. Sorry, bud. I love you. He has tweeted out several different statistics that I found very interesting, and maybe you all will too.
We actually have a graphic for it.
Yes, we do too. Since September of 2019, Borderlands 3 has had 21 patches, 6 DLCs, 5 free content packs, thousands of hotfixes, 30 maps, 132 pieces of gear, 1 new game mode, 4 new skill trees, raid bosses, if you know, you know, bing, 8 character model swaps, behind the scenes content, 3 vault cards, diamond loot room, many cosmetics, 31 pieces of gear for free out of takedowns, events, quality of life improvements, 20 plus cosmetics, Mayhem 2.0, dedicated loot pools, true takedowns, true trials, level cap increases, SDU expansions, mission rewards, Borderlands Science, Earl's Reroll, Black Market, and many more. Overall, he goes on to state that they have almost doubled the amount of content in the game through DLCs and free content. And he goes on to state further that he's incredibly proud of everything that the teams have accomplished, and he cannot wait to see what happens in the future. That's just incredible.
Huge shout out to Sheriff Pyric for putting that graphic together for us. And honestly, it's an amazing amount of stuff. The support that Gearbox and the love that Gearbox has poured into this game and community since the game launched, since before the game launched even, has just been unreal. And I think we're so lucky as gamers and as creators and as members of the community to just benefit from it. They've worked so hard, these developers, this company, they've worked so hard to work with the community, to be transparent with the community, and just to make the game as fun for us as possible. And it's crazy how much they've accomplished in these 2 years, how much they've supported it in these 2 years. We're so lucky, I think.
Extremely. So the table has been set. We had a bit of a recap video from Moxsy. Let's get right into it. The first thing that I wanted to highlight this year was early in the year, Arms Race had its various events, which then the recently added game mode had some seasonal tweaks that made the survival spinoff a little bit more palatable for some. So some of you may have forgotten this, but there was Clear Skies, in which enemies had a chance to drop better loot, and the Murder Cane Circle would take forever, or much longer anyway, to actually close in, the Extra Extraction, and the Gear Rush events. What are some of all of your favorite moments from all of those events? And do you feel that they really improved Arm Race to a point that perhaps, hopefully in the future, they kind of take some of the ideas from these events and implement them further in whatever comes next, Wonderlands or beyond?
I really enjoyed the Clear Skies, giving you a little extra time to get that loot that you normally couldn't get, and be able to go to multiple chests that you normally would only be able to go to one, which is really nice. So I think if they did stuff like where, you obviously you get money as you go through Arms Race, what if they had a machine where you could buy Clear Skies or like you could extend your time on the murder cane, or something like that, like almost like boosters. Like an enemy maybe has a chance to drop something that you can, like a Moxsy tail, kind of like a Moxsy tail, like you can drink it and it gives you clear skies, or it gives you extra extractions, or it gives you this, or it gives you that. I think that would be really cool, like to implement something like that into there. Or like you get something that just automatically drops like a red chest for you or something, just something, just, and it's rare, obviously. Like it's about as rare as maybe getting, a legendary would be, in arms race, because they're not like as plentiful in arms race as they are in their normal game. So, but I really enjoyed Clear Skies because I was able to actually go and farm for my class comm that I really, really wanted. So
I love that idea so much. That's a great idea.
Super cool.
You can take it.
What were some of your like favorite memories from arms race over the past year?
Arms race drops are hard to get what you want overall, and especially before anointment rerolls. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
One of the best additions to the game, because you would have to farm for so long for a nice like Dark Army plasma coil. Not even like comms are besides any point, because those are just tough with all their secondary roles and everything like that. But overall, like I loved going to arms race with other people. Like co-op arms race is a lot of fun, and it's very different than like the regular campaign with co-op, because like you're all on the same playing field, and I just find it a lot of fun. And then some people get left behind in the storm and you gotta go save them, so it turns into a rescue mission, so it just causes a lot of shenanigans, and it's a lot of fun.
Are you calling someone out right now? Well, you just go ahead and say their name. Just go ahead and say their name.
I mean, karma gets lost sometimes. It's just how that works.
I assume that was his default state in real life too.
Poor karma.
He just sees something and he goes. He doesn't stop.
See, Tweety, you're such a nice person. You go and you save your friends. My favorite moment, my favorite moment is actually, I was not saved. I was exploded by Killer 6.
Yeah, been there, done that 15
Blown
times.
up a barrel. It was a blast, though. I can't really complain.
Oh, I get it. It was a blast. That's good.
The moment.
My favorite moment was Moxsy killing me with a Jericho in arms race and leaving me to die.
The moment of power I felt when I saw that thing pop out of the chest and K6 was right next to me. Oh.
It's like the world was in your hands at that point.
Yeah.
A Jericho of all things. Really?
No longer doing team damage, I'm pretty sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No. Everything is subject to change in this game. You know what would be great? I just thought of this. A hide and seek where you had to hit the people that were hiding with Jerichos. And that's how you tag them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I just want hide and seek in this game. I hope and wonder if that'll be a thing in Wonderlands, because I feel like that'll be even more fun there, because I mean you've got different characters, a whole different world to play in. You don't necessarily know all the nooks and crannies. I feel like we've gotten to know the Borderlands so well in the last 2 years. We definitely don't know every nook and cranny because there are so many, but we know it pretty well. But like with Wonderlands, if there was a way to turn off the HUD, we could play hide and seek, and there's probably going to be so many places to like squirrel yourself away. It would be so cool. Just saying.
Agreed.
Arms race was a lot of fun, but moving forward, another show that we enjoy here on the program came to an end, at least for the foreseeable future. The Borderlands Show had its 10th episode, and since then, we really haven't heard much from them. So I guess the default is just to kind of be like, I guess they're putting it on the shelf for now, and hopefully it'll come back in the future. But I really enjoyed watching and being on the Borderlands Show, being out there in San Francisco, getting to hang out with Greg and Fran. They were absolutely wonderful people, and everything that I got to do while I was there, I got to learn so much. I got to have personal interactions with Graham and Anthony and get their insights and just like BS with them a little bit, which was cool because you don't get to do that as much. Tess, I know you were out there too. How was your time? Out
Yeah,
in,
it was
San Francisco?
amazing. It was amazing. I got to go with Liz, 55, who is one of the most incredible humans I've ever been lucky enough to know. And it was also a member of our creative team here. And we went out there together and we got to play with those guys. And it was such a blast. We absolutely had so much fun just playing with them and learning from them. I had so many tech questions because we walked into their studios, their old studios, I guess, because they've moved. But at the time, it was all very new to me. And they had all of this gear and all of these different things. And I was like, technology, tell me all the things. So it was just really cool to pick their brains. And it was a total blast, of course, playing with them and sort of hearing their banter and having some fun banter with Liz. And just a really good experience. We definitely, Mitsu and myself, and Liz as well, with the Ultimate Vault Hunter show, we were all very much inspired by those guys and learned from them, and we've just benefited from their experience and their contribution. And so I would love to see them, come back in some way, shape, or form for Wonderlands, or to work with them again in any way that we could. We're just lucky to have experienced that, I think.
Yes. K6, do you have a favorite moment from the Borderlands show? Maybe something that was revealed on it or a segment that you particularly enjoyed?
I always love when Greg would show up without a shirt on and be the Ask a Psycho.
Wait, that was Greg?
Well, I think it was a psycho named Greg. I don't know that it was the actual Greg.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense then. Moxsy, same question.
K6 took my answer.
Wait, so everybody did Ask a Psycho? Yeah. So wait,
it was
everybody
amazing.
Ask a Psycho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What's not to like about it?
I don't know, but I
Nipples.
Whenever oh, that's fair.
I was like, oh gosh. I was like, are they gonna get banned?
First
like,
out when I first
TOS.
saw this,
I was like, oh no.
That was the first thought I had the first time it showed up on Twitch too. I was like, oh God, because it was at one point against the rules. I don't think it was against the rules when they did that, but there was a time, which has been the wild, wild west for a long time, you guys. And some of us have been on it for a very, very long time, okay?
Yeah.
So there was a moment when that was not okay to do. And so my first thought was like, oh God. And then I was like, wait, it's like 2019. It's fine.
So, I will miss that show. Hopefully it does come back in the future. I'd like to see them maybe do something for Wonderlands, or, in the event that we finally get around to Borderlands 4, if, when, wherever that is, we'll get to hang out with them again, because that'll be a wonderful time. Tales from the Borderlands made a triumphant return to various sales platforms after having been removed because, unfortunately, Telltale had to shutter their doors. I finished it. Tess, I know you finished it several times. MystiqueSiren, have you played Tales from the Borderlands yet?
Yes, I played it quite a few years ago.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah,
we won't shame you, but I know at least one of you.
That's why I started with not that person. Would that person like to raise their hand at this time?
Wait, has everybody
Really?
actually
Is it?
played it?
Well, we can't see K6's hand.
That's
He's played it.
K6 has played Tales.
He's
They're in my
played it.
pants.
I played
Oh
Tales.
my god.
I played Tales, but it was the first Borderlands game that I played, so I didn't know any references whatsoever, and I was very confused. But somehow I enjoyed it enough to then play Borderlands 2. So I did play it.
You have a unique perspective then as somebody who played Tales first.
Yeah. Very strange. I did it very out of order, and I've yet to go back to it, but I will at some point.
Yeah.
Did you have any ideas or expectations going into it?
I saw shiny loot lasers and I liked it. That was my main takeaway that I loved from it. I'm like, that looks super cool. And there was a lot of fighting and everything, and there was the people in it were super cool, and that's what kind of pushed me to try out Borderlands 2.
Lasers.
Yeah, dude,
Lasers are always
pineapples.
so cool.
Laser pineapples, exactly.
Laser pineapples, yes.
So good. Oh my God. I definitely also played the
so
game
much
out
fun.
of order, but yeah. Tales is just so good. My one sort of, I don't know if this is a regret, because it wasn't obviously my choice. I don't know. My one like sort of ask for the universe is for Gortys to somehow make it back into the lands and worlds of the Borderlands so that we can experience hanging out with her again. I mean, you can play Tales from the Borderlands again and then see her that way, of course, which is fantastic that it's back. You can buy it again. So psyched for that. But I want her in the Borderlands somehow because I love her. Gortys is
a good character.
Yeah.
Everybody's like the TweetyExpert of Borderlands.
Yes.
So pure and innocent and sweet.
Yes.
That is an excellent allegory. So it's good to see Tails back. It is also good to see The Hunt. The Hunt in parts 1 and 2 came back this year. And the first question I actually wanted to ask is, what are some of the initial impressions you had, K6, from the results of The Hunt Part 1?
Yeah, so obviously with the first hunt, we did really, really well, which, I think we kind of talked about this before, not having some of the big names from the community that had been around for years in Borderlands 2, there was sort of a lower expectation that, maybe we wouldn't raise as much money for the kids of St. Jude, but we actually surpassed like previous years' high totals. So I was really excited about that. And then obviously with the winter hunt, we even went further thanks to a huge donation from the 2K Foundation of $25,000, which I'm still trying to recover from that one. So it's been an amazing year.
It was so awesome of them to do that. I saw that on Twitter. I think I saw your tweet about it and it was just like my jaw dropped. My face was just like, what? Oh my God. It's so like them to do something like that. It's just amazing. It's amazing. St. Jude's, for anyone that somehow might not know about what they are, St. Jude's is a children's hospital. It's a research hospital in North America. They try to, their basically main goal is to eliminate childhood cancer in the world. They open source all of their research so that they can work with hospitals and research centers all over the world. So it's not just a North American thing, but they also treat children in North America, and they never ever charge the families anything. They try to cover costs of travel and housing and bills, even everything, so that the families can just focus on getting their child well. They've been at this for like almost 50 years, I think, or more, and more. I think more. And they've raised the survivability from something like 2% of a lot of childhood cancers to 84% or higher. The numbers keep going up, and I'm not up to date on what they currently are, but I mean, it was 84%, I think, a few years ago, and that's insane. They've done so much good. They work with terminal illnesses besides cancer as well. It's just an amazing hospital. It's an amazing cause. And we as streamers and content creators are so lucky that we get to play video games and raise money for such an amazing cause. And not only do we get to do that, we get to play our favorite game like Borderlands, our favorite franchise, and the amazing support that we get from both the developers of the game and the publishers of the game, Gearbox, 2K. Like they've provided prizes, they provided all kind of support, and then of course 2K, their foundation, their charitable foundation arm, donated that $25,000, which is just honestly, like that alone makes me want to cry, because like happy tears, because it's such an honor to be a part of this group of people that have worked so hard. K6 and Tweety and Moxsy and Mystique and Mitsu, they've all worked so hard to raise money for St. Jude's over the years, and all of our creators have, and it's just incredible. It's an incredible group of people on Twitch and YouTube and elsewhere, Facebook even, that have come together for such a good cause. The Hunt does so much good, and I'm so excited and hopeful that we see it show up in Wonderlands, because that would be really fun. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. I hope that happens.
At the time, K6, did you think once The Hunt Part 1 had ended that you would do yet another one just 9 months later?
Not initially. Like that was one of those things that for years we've just done one per year. But the idea of doing a winter and a summer one just like that's really exciting to me. It's, you know, obviously 2 opportunities to raise money for the kids of St. Jude, but it's also 2 opportunities for us to have like this big friendly competition in the community. And I just absolutely love it.
It's always a wonderful event. Tweety, we'll start with you on this one. What were some of your highlights from, you can pick either hunt or both. What were some of your highlights from the hunt this year?
Well, just with this last hunt, the Hunt Goes Bar one, my community raised over total now $20,000 for St. Jude, which is lovely. We just hit that, like just barely hit it, but it was amazing. But with this previous hunt, I couldn't put a whole bunch of time because it stacked up along with my finals for school, so that was a little rough. But with the arms race, the short time I did get to play it this year, I had a double comm drop in the first like 3 runs that I did for arms race, and it made a lot of people a little angry because the comms are so awful to get. That was great. It was amazing.
Moxsy, how about you, bud?
I did the hunt this year because I wasn't like competing, but more doing it for fun and to raise money for a good cause as a One Life where donations could delete my gear. And I got my first ever cloning maddening tracker, which I freaked out about. And then someone donated $100 to delete it.
So mean.
Got him.
For the kids. Worth it for the kids, but
Mystique, you know what I'm going to ask you.
There was a few.
One short. Well, one short.
Okay.
That's how many you were 1 piece of gear short from completing your list?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
The Spycom. K6 was there to witness it too. And I literally that whole day, I just needed arms race. The very last day, I just needed arms race gear, and I got a lot of it really early on. And then a previous day, K6 and I played together, and I got the Mo's comm because he was playing Mo's, and then he got the Kensei comm because I was playing Amara. And so it was like down to the wire, and I was just bum rushing the Spycom chest, like just dying. And then if I didn't get a die, I would just reset. And I got it an hour and a half after the hunt ended, and I got 2 in each chest. I got 1 in each chest. I got it. Yeah. I was so angry. So technically, I completed it. I just didn't complete it in the deadline. It was an hour and a half afterwards. I got my Spycom. So. But it was still, we raised 2,300 this hunt, 1,500 last hunt, and then by other previous hunts I think was like 600 to 500 when I was a wee little streamer. But yeah, so we've raised quite a bit of money, and it's awesome. And I was like, I wasn't sure that we were going to raise that much money because it was, during Christmas and during the holidays, and I started with a $500 goal. And it got crushed a lot. I just kept upping it, and it kept getting crushed. So it was really awesome.
That's how it be.
Yeah, and you were what 13th in the whole list of like it's amazing.
Yeah, so even if I would have got the Spycom like by before the deadline, it still wouldn't have changed my place in the hunt. I still would have gotten 13th, so it was like whatever, But I think one of the best things was when Brock and a few of us were doing Hemovorous, and it took us 3 hours to get the sniper. So, and when we finally got it, we all just screamed.
I bet. Oh my god.
Who got the credit for it?
It was, so we all were doing co-opetition.
Oh, okay.
And so it was 1 drop for everyone. So it was me, Brock, Darkest Dame, and then someone else that was also partaking in the hunt. It was K6, but then he had to go take a break. So unfortunately we didn't get to get it with K6. But yeah, it was like when we got it, there's a clip of us just all freaking out and screaming, and it was like none of us wanted it, none of us cared about it, but we finally got it, and it was a great moment. It took us 3 hours. 3 hours of grinding to get that. Yeah, it was awful.
God.
It was a victory screech, yeah, for sure.
That was a war cry, is what that was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Also, a side funny moment was Damn Hal shaving his eyebrows off.
Oh my
Yes!
god.
Wait, I didn't. Oh yeah, no, I do remember that. I do remember that. Oh my god.
That was good.
That was very good.
So good.
Oh boy.
There's an emote. There's an emote of it.
Yes, there is. It is a travesty. Moving right along, as Mario put it, there were thousands of hot fixes, weapon adjustments, all of these different things to make Borderlands 3 feel like a more balanced and complete game. What were all of your favorite changes in gear from the past year? And I'm going to start this time with MystiqueSiren.
Sorry, someone was asking me about my bunny and stream, and so I was distracted. What was the question?
That's okay. There's been thousands of hot fixes this past year.
Yes.
Gear has changed significantly in some ways.
Yes.
What are, I should say, some of your favorite changes, or a favorite change if you just want to highlight one that has made the game feel a more complete game for you over the past year? I know.
Man.
I asked the thought-provoking questions.
That's hard. I would say the one that because I'm an Amara main. So the one that I'm most excited for, that I was like, we were all wanting, that we were all very like, when are we gonna get it? When are we gonna get it? When are we gonna get it? And it was fixing expedite.
Oh yeah.
Because ball was fun, but ball wasn't practical a lot of times, because even if you had like max points into restless, which I think it was restless that gives you like the extra cooldown, your ball still would just take forever to with certain builds, it would just take forever to come back. So having expedite just made Amara even greater of a character to play. And ball, I've had so much fun doing new builds since expedite came out. I actually made a red and purple tree capstone build, and I'm absolutely in love with it. So I can ties that bind and ball at any time. So I can mob with my ball or my ties that bind, but I can also boss with my ball. And it's just been so much fun. And it's because of expedite, because normally I would capstone blue tree because of avatar, so I could use my action skill twice, but with expedite I don't really need that. So I think expedite was definitely my top one. That's not really a gun, but it was definitely my favorite fix. So
Moxsy, are you mad that MystiqueSiren took your answer?
Expedite was a very good change, though.
Yeah.
Amara really needed it. My favorite buff was, I think, the Rowan's Call, because that was a weapon that I really enjoyed using when the game first came out, and then the extra projectile change happened, and then it wasn't very good. And I think they buffed it by 300%. It's been my favorite weapon to use recently, especially on Amara. It's so good. And then the Butcher change, so that the Butcher is like also a very cool shotgun. It was just a waste of your time shooting it because it consumed all your ammo and didn't kill anything. And they reworked it to like, you don't even need ammo regen and you'll never reload it. Like on any character, you just don't need ammo regen. It doesn't reload and it does a ton of damage. And so that thing is absolute carnage. I really like it.
Yeah. The Butcher, I got that in the hunt at level 12, and it took me to level like 25. Wow. The Butcher, like that's how powerful that thing is. I didn't realize that it was that good, and I was like, holy crap.
Wow. Yeah.
Tweety, how are you feeling about everything in terms of the state of the game?
I like it. One of the kind of side guns that I've always liked the feel of, like shooting a whole bunch and mobbing with, is the companion. and that got a buff like a little way through. It just feels so nice as the pistol. I wish I could use it more like more end game stuff, but when you get it like leveling, going through campaign stuff, it's so nice. And I'm so glad it got a little bit of a, like, I think it's 160% increase or whatever. But it was really nice when that happened because I just like the companion, just how it shoots and feels.
K6, your turn, bud.
A few, man. I got a few.
You got the floor. Go for it.
All right, we got the crit, the hail, the reflux, the DNA, the multi-tap, the smog. The redistributor brought back up. The Crater's EMP5 actually became a slightly better gun. The Becca became amazing. The Lyuda got buffed. The Hellfire still sucks.
Here. Well, they made it a doll. Okay. If they didn't make it a doll, it would have been fine. That is my statement.
If they had made it a Malawan, that'd probably be the only thing we use. I don't know. But the Butcher got buffed this year. Kings and Queens Call, Rowan's Call, Lucian's Call. The Unkempt Herald got a big buff. I could go on, man. I don't know. So many good buffs.
Is there one that you can like just pick out and highlight as the change of changes?
Probably the crit. Like that gives everybody like something they can get. Like as soon as you unlock Mayhem, you can instantly go to Mayhem 11 or Mayhem 10 if you are crazy, and go to Moxsy Tipper and get a crit right off the bat, and then that'll carry you.
Excellent.
And then it gets yeeted off the cliff.
Yeah, like Moxsy does.
Wow.
And the Unkempt Herald now does like more damage than most rocket launchers as a pistol.
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't actually even know that. That's amazing. I need
It's
to try that
stronger
again.
than the Borderlands 2 Unkempt Herald.
Wow.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That gun got me through not only Borderlands 2, many playthroughs, but also Borderlands 2 VR.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That would be a good gun for Borderlands 2 VR.
I mean, yeah. Okay. I haven't tried it. I remember trying it when it first launched, or when it first came out for Borderlands 3, and then I just like used it for nostalgia and then moved on. So I haven't tried it since. Now I really want to go back and try
So
it again.
good.
Cool.
Real quick, was there any changes or gear that kind of wound up falling flat, or was there a piece of gear that any of you felt deserved a change that never wound up getting one?
Alex Bane.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a
That
really
thing's
good
been
point.
buffed like 4 times and it still sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
It's in a league with the Woodblocker, isn't it?
Woodblocker's better.
Wow.
And the Malak's Bane? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the Malak's Bane still consumes, 2 ammo per shot? And does like half the damage of the Woodblocker, so...
I mean, you gotta have some bad apples amongst all the good, right? You have to.
Yeah, I'm really saddened by. I wanted the cloud kill to be a mayhem, high mayhem, like a gun that I could use all the way through and like use it at the end game, and you just can't, especially how, with anointments and stuff, and it can't be anointed. So I wish I would have loved to had the cloud kill as like an anointed gun and just had a better, better overall damage on it. Maybe not even damage to the gun, or maybe the cloud did more damage or something, because it was, like a memory of Maya, and Maya got the shit in the stick a lot in Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Especially shot out dust.
A reverse
Makes
vacuum.
me sad.
God.
Amara, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And then everybody
I feel
started
like
crying.
for me it would be between the cloud kill also, because Maya, literally favorite character ever, but also the oh god, I just had it in my head and now it's gone, of course. The Cutsman. So I loved that gun for a really long time, and then unfortunately I think it's not even that it got nerfed. It mostly just got outshone by other guns. And there were other guns to satisfy that niche. And that made sense with new DLC and new content coming out. All fair. Like, I really can't complain about it. But there was just something really special about the Cutsman. It was just very satisfying to use. And so I'm a little bit sad that it got outshone by other things. I love that gun. I still have very many of them.
I RIP weapons, the carrier. Used to love that thing. That's so bad now. Crossroads got done dirty. It's forever 3 projectiles. And then a homie the recursion.
I'm so sorry, but that one was brutal.
Also, the NARP got buffed by increasing its mag size, I think by 1. Which is possibly my favorite buff.
That's when I hope we have Graham on one day and you can ask him, why did you give it just 1 extra magazine bullet? Like, what? Come on, guys.
Makes all the difference.
I feel like the yellow cake also get kind of a rip as well? It's just not as
it's still really good. It was like, I think it was like splitting, and its extra projectiles were getting the original base damage instead of getting like cut in half.
Yeah, it wasn't a nerf, it was a fix.
Yeah,
So,
that was a fix. Yeah, exactly.
The
it's
amount
still
of
really good.
Yeah, that one was literally just a fix though. There's so much math. We've talked about this before, but there's so much math that goes into every single bullet that is in this game. Not just every single gun, but every single bullet, like as it leaves the gun, as it hits the enemy, what happens to it on its way there. Just so many things. There's so much math. It's amazing.
A lot of people call these nerfs, and most nerfs are not nerfs. They are actually fixes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because, I mean, it's honestly, I don't know how they even keep track of it, because there's just so many things happening at once to affect that one item's damage and there's so much damage, as Moxsy would put it, that it's just like, how do they even figure out what it is that's doing something funky, right? And it's really hard to anticipate, because sometimes people just put together combinations of things that are wild. And that's part of the beauty of the game, of course. But some things just become a little bit too OP when they are broken. They've left some things that I think were broken that they were just like, it's okay. People are having fun with it. It's not, it doesn't like change the balance of the game that much, so we'll just like leave it. They've definitely done that too. So, you know, it's just when it's kind of game breaking or just like when it really negatively affects balancing and limits people's sort of variety of choice when it comes to guns and playstyles and all the things builds, that they really need to like fix things like that. So
the director's cut launched this year as well. Yes, that was this year. For those of you keeping track of all the crazy things that have happened, it was actually this year. And as far as we know, currently it is the final DLC for Borderlands 3, which included a bunch of features, including the director's cut of Maya's funeral, which added a lot of context, and we'll talk about in a second here. Ava and her podcast, Mysteriouslier, which I would actually listen to. It was kind of cool, especially towards the end. Yeah. She wound up being right.
Yep.
It was an extraterrestrial force. She was right the whole time.
Yep.
Vault cards in all 3 seasons of it, which include Fallen Heroes, Welcome to Pandora, and Bunker Masters, which was actually very well encapsulated in your recap of 2021 video, Moxsy. The Diamond Key stories. Maurice's vending machine, of course, we talked about that earlier, was added this year as well. And Hebivorous and spoilers, wink, again, Vermivorous returned. Tweety, how was your experience with the director's cut?
My luck is awful. All right, we'll start off with that. I've only gotten 1 diamond key out of I don't know how many levels. I've gotten 1. And everyone tells me, oh, I've gotten like 5. I'm like, oh, I'm just here with 1. I have to add up how many chests I've opened, but I've only gotten 1, and it was a magical time. And I was like, I was in the vault room, you know, looking at all the goodies on the wall. I'm like, I don't know what to pick. I'm panicking. There's too much to pick from. There's too many to look at. And like, it's ticking down, right? I forget what it starts out at, but you got a couple more seconds. I'm like, oh no, we're less than 10 seconds left. It gets down to 5 seconds. I'm like, I don't know what to pick. I just pick at the last second. Gets to 5 seconds and it closes. Just so you know, it doesn't close at 1. It closes at like 5 seconds. So I missed another one. Out of the one golden or one diamond key that I've gotten, I missed a drop in it too because I was panicking too much because I didn't know what to pick.
Oh no.
It was I haven't got a single diamond key since. And it is awful. I have no luck with it. It was so sad.
Game's out to get you.
It really is. But overall, everything else, I love it. Like that podcast, I love going through that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially with the environments. I love just going through the environments and literally going corner to corner in like those, like the back alleys, you know, with all the cut off, like the police. It's kind of like electricity in a way. I forget what it's actually called, but it was such a cool environment to go through and see all the different like graffiti and posters and all the signs. It's super cool. If you go and look at all the details, there's so many and it's amazing.
And they're all good references to kind of like in-universe stuff going on too. So that's the level of detail. If you like trash piles, we're going to bring it all the way home. They're trash piles, essentially. They're lovely to look at and examine because they're just so well designed.
Yeah.
Moxsy, how are you feeling about the director's cut?
I liked it a lot. I mean, personal favorite part, like we obviously knew that there was going to be a raid boss coming that was very advertised. And we knew Ava's Murder Mysteries were going to be part of it, but I wasn't really expecting like Ava Murder Mysteries to be my favorite part of it, which it was, especially the Seer fight. Like that, and like I consider that basically to be on the same level as Vermi. It was an awesome fight and still like one of my favorites to do in the game. And that whole section I really, really enjoyed. And the expansion on the planets was cool. I wish they had expanded on Athenas because I really, really love that planet. But the ones that we did get were awesome.
I was a little shocked, actually, that we didn't get a little bit more of Athenas, especially considering what they were trying to promote as the idea of Mysterious Lair. But so it goes. I can only imagine how difficult that actually might be. And it's even made more amusing when you find out that Athenas was the first map that they worked on and the last map that they actually completed, which is a true fact. That is a true story. MystiqueSiren, you're up. What do you got for us?
I love the director's cut. I was very excited for the vault cards. And at first I kind of was like, oh, I gotta deal with Ava. But honestly, Ava redeemed herself in my eyes with the director's cut. And just in general with the funeral scene. Anytime I do a new playthrough, I skip the scene. I skip the dust scene.
Yeah.
And I go straight back to Sanctuary, and then I quit the game and I go watch the funeral scene, and I just ignore the whole like teenager like freak out that Ava has. I just ignore that and I replace it with the funeral scene. Is what I do, and that's what in my head happened. So I loved all the behind the scenes stuff. And to kind of build on what Tweety said about her one diamond key, during the hunt, we weren't allowed to open up vault card chests. So I had 48 chests accumulated from the hunt. I opened every single one of them on a stream. I had 34 regular keys, 1 diamond key, 10 cosmetics, 9 iridium, and 3 guns. So if that makes you feel any better, Tweety.
All the vault cards won.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like it definitely made me really like Ava a lot more with that funeral scene. I wish that would have been in Borderlands from the beginning, and that whole her freak out scene just completely gone. So because Ava's definitely a good character, and the funeral scene showed it, and the Mysterious Lair, DLC definitely showed it. So and I just loved her narration. It was great. She did so good with the narration. Her voice actress did really, really well. So, but yeah.
K6, what are you thinking about, bud?
All right. So one of the things that I don't think anybody seems to really talk about, and I don't want to like give anything away. I want everybody to like actually go experience it. But there is some nice beefy lore in the director's cut with the Ava Murder Mysteries, with the interactions you get toward the end, and you hear some of the events that have happened in the past and why they happened. And I think there's some really cool stuff in there. And also, did I mention the Revolter? All right, there you go. That's all you need.
I remember I was on a Bordercast and I had talked to Tess and Mitsu about my theory about Lilith after the director's cut had come out, about how she's actually in the vault and she's where the vaults are interdimensional. Technically, she's not part of the universe anymore. And I think that she's the seventh siren. And I got that from the lore, from the end of that DLC. And yeah, so the lore in that is definitely a top.
Such a good theory. I have no idea if that's ultimately, I don't know. Cool. Like, yeah, I'm sure they'll pay it off eventually, and whether that's right or not, I don't know. But it's just such a good theory. I loved the director's cut for the same reasons as you guys. Like, I loved the Seer fight. I loved the lore. I loved Ava's kind of, I don't know, not justification, but like her coming into her own. I feel like this was the Ava that we all wanted from the beginning. That
agree.
Yeah, that we finally got to know. And that whole funeral scene, like Maya is literally favorite character. Yeah, like forever.
I cried so hard.
Yeah,
my little baby.
Yeah, and it was just such a joy to have that happen. The previous DLC, 2 DLCs before that, the DLC 4, the Krieg DLC, did a lot to make me feel a lot better because she's like still alive within him and we got to hang out with her a little bit. That helped a lot for me. But this DLC really, really kind of like made things right, I think. And there's just so much cool stuff in it. If you haven't seen all of the behind the scenes stuff, as somebody that's at all interested in sort of game development, I super recommend, or even just like story development, any of the details of how they made this game. It's really interesting, some of the stuff that's in there, and I super recommend checking it out.
Big time. Seasonal events returned and then decided to stay. Love in the Air and Revenge of the Cartels came back temporarily, but we all screamed as loud as humanly possible, and Gearbox was kind enough to listen and implement. So they incorporated all 3 of the holiday-themed events, Love is in the Air, Revenge of the Cartels, and why am I blanking on it now? Of course, the one time I actually have to remember the name is when I blank on it. The Halloween event. We'll just say
Bloody Harvest.
Yeah,
Bloody Harvest. Thank you. Wow, I'm terrible at my job. Thank you. We're incorporated into the game permanently, with players being able to choose which event was actually active. We're very thankful and appreciative to Gearbox and 2K for making that happen, because everybody especially for Revenge of the Cartels, everybody wanted it. On another note, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was announced and revealed to the world, and we've learned so much, yet still so little about this upcoming game. Just so everybody is aware, because we hear it all the time, I'm sure everybody here on the panel today, Tess and I especially, and all of our social media channels, there is a lot of confusion. This is a standalone game. It is not an expansion to Borderlands 3 or 2. I know. Wild,
completely separate
right?
Games.
Yeah.
Completely
Borderlands,
separate and
Wonderlands.
entirely new.
Potentially a whole new franchise. We're hoping, certainly, right? I really hope, I mean, this is pure speculation, but I really hope that there's a Borderlands 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and beyond. And I also hope there's a Wonderlands 2 and 3 and 4 and et cetera, and that they kind of like exist together at the same time as 2 franchises, because then we get more amazing gameplay in 2 separate franchises and universes. They're related, but they're not the same, right? Wonderlands is all fantasy and magic and melee and craziness. It's a whole new world, you guys, and it's a whole new game. So it's based on a DLC. It's based on the Assault on Dragon's Keep DLC that came out for Borderlands 2, one of the most beloved DLCs for video games anywhere ever. So many people love that DLC, myself included, and we're lucky to have it. And the idea for Wonderlands came from that, but it's its own thing.
Completely. I'm personally hoping that despite the two games kind of going their separate ways a little bit here, especially since, what is it? Wonderlands actually takes place a few weeks after Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon's Keep. I'm kind of hoping that the two games will still influence each other in certain ways, and that events of Borderlands 2 and even kind of the foreshadowing of Borderlands 3, you can see that sprinkled in there in everything that influences what goes on in Wonderlands, but we'll have to see. The overworld looks phenomenal. And now is where I'm going to ask the panel. We have the Berserker, we have the Stabomancer, we have the Spell Shot, and of course, my favorite so far, the Clawbringer. Where's everybody at? Who's choosing their mains? What is it looking like? And I'm, of course, going to start with K6.
Stabomancer, baby.
Really? Why?
I like to stab stuff and go invisible.
I guess I can't argue that all that much.
Sound logic.
That's very fair.
Sound.
Moxie, you look deep in thought, so that means you're next.
Of the classes revealed, the spellcaster class. What's the correct title of
Spell Shot?
Spell Shot?
Yes.
Yeah, dual wielding. I mean, we all know how dual wielding works in Borderlands games. Being able to dual wield spells sounds very crazy, and also like the synergy and the combos between different spells looks really good. And from the gameplay we've seen, it looks very like fluid, like casting and swapping between that and like guns. However, the class, I've done some like breakdowns of it, but there's pretty from the gameplay, it looks like there's a class that keeps doing that like necrotic slam that does that like big red AoE around everything, and that I don't think has been revealed yet. So I'm very curious about that because I love classes like that. So if that's the thing, I might be playing that between that and the Spell Shot.
Spell Shot does look really good. The dual wielding of spells, you bring up a very Salvador influenced point. I want to see how they actually manage to balance that, because dual wielding in a lot of games is a problem. This goes, I mean, back many, many years. But MystiqueSiren, you're next. Who are you playing?
Yep, I'm gonna go. So before they revealed Spell Shot, I was definitely eyeing the Stabo Daddy. But it's definitely gonna be Spell Shot. I agree with Moxie. The dual wielding of spells, what they call it in the trailer, hexpedestrious, I think is what they called it. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do the Spell Shot. And like if we kind of look at other, you know, like role-playing games, there's a lot of like necromancers or stuff like that, like how Moxie was saying with the red aura. If there is like a necromancer, I would probably go back and forth, because that necromancer does spells as well, is usually really good with spells and stuff like that too, and like raising the dead and all that stuff. So I agree with Moxie wholeheartedly on this Spell Shot, but we still have 2 more classes, so it might change.
That's true, and that's actually an excellent point. They have said that there will be 2 more classes announced, so as much as we can speculate here about what we're going to choose, it's always subject to change. A point of order there, you brought it up a while ago, Moxie. Before Borderlands 3 was announced, Flak was the most anticipated character with, what, 40% of the vote? And Flak was also the last revealed character. It makes me wonder what they're keeping in their back pocket for these last 2 classes, because I love the way the Clawbringer looks. What could possibly top that? Tweety, what do you think?
I like melee stuff.
Does this mean Berserker?
This means Berserker. Yeah, I love like Frost Cryo stuff is always my jam, and then you combine melee stuff and that combined, you have me. I'm locked in. It's set for me. At least like spinning to win, and then like the leap with the slam. That's my jam. It really is. I'm looking forward to that.
based
The
on that
Clawbringer's
information,
kind of melee though too, right?
Yeah, so I could kind of see going in that way too, but the Berserker and their skills that I've seen so far is what I like the most, but definitely like Clawbringer stuff as well is super cool looking. But they all look amazing. I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard to choose right now.
We're gonna play all of them.
I know, I'm gonna play all of them anyway, but that's probably where I'll start off with, I'm thinking, unless something crazy comes out of their back pocket right now. So
that's what I was going to suggest. You mean you don't have to necessarily choose one or the other. There's going to be multi-classing options. You could multitask with Berserker and then have your minor be in studies involving clawbringing.
yeah, we'll have to see.
What about you, Mitsu?
Me?
Uh-huh.
What? I mean, I love the clawbringer. I'll just put it that way. The fact that you can chuck a hammer and then bring it back to you, you know, that's a lot of fun. I echo Tweety's sentiments. Melee is a lot of fun in video games. Borderlands, they've tried a few times. It's kind of hard in an RPG environment like Borderlands to do melee right. I look at Zero, whose melee prowess is legendary, at least in universe, but actually in practice, it varies. You know, sometimes it struggles until you realize that melee in Borderlands 2 also had infinite vertical height. Spoilers, by the way. I don't know how many people actually knew that. I keep forgetting.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you were playing Zero, for example, and Bunker flies over your head and you do a melee attack, you actually will hit it, which is a lot of fun. So we'll have to see. You know, like I said, the first there are going to be 6 classes. It's a stark departure from the 4 that we're used to. I don't know how many talent trees I think they will have, so we'll have to see how they even divvy the classes themselves up further for everybody to play with. But it's really anybody's guess. Tess, same question to you, of course.
It's hard for me to answer this because there's just so much cool things. But okay, so I really love stabbing things a lot. I super agree with K6 there. Stabomancer all the way. But spell shot also. So one thing I realized is I've played a lot of RPG games that are very melee focused, and I've played them as a melee player as much as I possibly could. And I've never really used magic in those games. But as an RP player, I'm in a bunch of roleplay shows and have been, you know, really getting into that over the last couple of years. I actually really love the idea of using magic. I also have been doing more melee than magic. I think I finally need to just go for it and get my butt doing some crazy awesome magic, right? Why not? So I think, I don't know. I mean, I think we will all end up playing all of the characters eventually. I think I'm probably going to start with Stabomancer, but I might start with Spell Shot. I'm probably going to combine the two. I just don't know which one will be my like main, I guess, or first choice. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait until they tell us what the other two things are because I'm too curious.
I think that at this point, that's a pretty fair assessment considering what we've learned from previous Borderlands experiences. Real quick, it's worth mentioning Wonderlands arrives March 25th of 2022. And don't forget the Knights of Blood Stallion pre-order pack that you can only get by pre-ordering through one of our fabulous content creator codes, which is now where I'm going to shut up and let everybody promote their codes real quick. Whoever wants to jump in and go first, just go ahead and plug your stuff.
So I think everybody has links posted, right?
Yeah.
Links.
So,
Yes.
It's a link, not a code.
yeah, unfortunately.
Well, links, yeah, the links is, yeah.
Mine's HVBW6414132.
I'm like, does he have this memorized?
That's impressive.
I'm going to Twitter right now.
Yeah,
Like, what?
just go to everyone's Twitter or Twitch. Like mine is in my Twitch panels. I need to pin it on Twitter. I posted it, but then I forgot to pin it because I'm a doofus. But yeah, it's like mine is in my Twitch panels. So if you go to the About section on Twitch, and I'm sure it's in a lot of other people's as well there, you'll see it there. You can just click on the image of Wonderlands and use that. Thank you very much if you choose to do so. But for a lot of guys, including K6, and I think Tweety and Moxsy and Mystique, and probably Mitsu, it's on their Twitter. Or if it's not already on their Twitter, it will be, because yeah, you guys should repost that.
I'm going to be actively promoting everybody else's but my own. That is my strategy.
Fair. Yeah.
I think it's pinned on a lot of people's Twitters, and then I know like I have it on my Twitch panel as well.
Yeah.
Too.
And there are a ton of other really awesome creators on the Wonderlands crew, right? So Epic NNG, Trisha, there's like a ton of people. Definitely just go and check out all of the creators, use their codes, watch them stream it when they start streaming it, hopefully in 3 months. It's too far away. I wish it was here already. Oh God. But yeah, just use everybody's codes, whoever you're watching. If you're going to get it, just use somebody's code, because why not? Right.
Makes sense to me. We celebrated our 100th episode this year, which also coincided with us being on the GCX space station. The GCX space station was a fun idea that suffered, unfortunately, from a few setbacks, but we were super honored to be included as part of their programming slate this year. I personally will be coming back as a host of the Gaming Community Expo this year, and I'm keeping my fingers very crossed, almost to the point of having them bleed, that things will be much better on a global, national scale, so we can chill out, have a wonderful time down in Florida, a very safe and successful show, and that even Gearbox and 2K might even feature something related to Wonderlands at the event. As a disclaimer, of course, I do not know if that's the case. This is just me once again wishing out loud. There was a Borderlands movie. You might have heard of it. We don't know too much about it per se, but we do know the principal cast, which includes Cate Blanchett as Lilith, Roland as being played by Kevin Hart, Tannis, Jamie Lee Curtis, Krieg, Florian Munteanu, Tiny Tina, Ariana Greenblatt, Crom is Olivia Richters, and Claptrap played by Jack Black, of all people, which amused the ever-loving heck out of me. It also will feature Commander Knox being played by Janina Gavankar, Decalion Atlas, man, that is a hard name to say, played by Edgar Ramirez, Marcus being played by Benjamin Byron Davis, Scooter and Ellie, Stephen Boyer and Ryan Redmond, respectively, and of course, the incomparable Gina Gershon as Moxsy, with Bobby Lee as Larry? Who the heck is Larry? Yeah, this is just listed on the IMDb, just Larry. I don't know what that means, but I guess that's happening. It seems like it's set in an alternate Borderlands universe, so the characters might feel the same, but the overarching story might be slightly different. And Florian, especially, has gone ahead in interviews saying that if you are a fan of this series, if you love the humor and violence of it, the movie is going to bring all of that to the forefront. So while the story might seem a little bit different, everything that you love, that makes you smile, that makes you laugh and cry and enjoy the Borderlands universe, it will be there in this movie. We don't really have a concept of what the principal cast actually looks like yet, other than silhouettes that were posted by Jamie Lee Curtis about 2 months back. Oh, and the Claptrap photo when they announced that the principal filming had come to a close. We have suspected for a long time on this show that Ariana's actually a fan and watch, as conspicuously every time we talk about it, several ideas and concepts that we mention on the show just magically appear on Twitter. She's doing something awesome related to it. The Hunt Goes Burr being the most recent example, where she was showcasing some awesome merch from the Hunt Goes Burr. And from the bottom of our hearts, we would like to extend a thank you for enjoying the show, if it's true, and for being our Tiny Tina on the silver screen. Thank you so much. Real quick, anybody can jump in with this one. Thoughts on the movie so far?
Excited.
I'm excited.
So excited.
Yep. Very, 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 very excited.
I know it's hard to speculate because we know so little, right?
No, I'm waiting for that trailer.
Yeah.
So waiting.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see trailers. I can't wait to see everybody in the movie just embody those characters, because I know that all of them have been transformed. I feel like Ariana in particular just like took on, I don't know if her personality just matches Tiny Tina so well, or she just took that on so well, but she's just amazing. Okay, I'm fangirling a little, but she's amazing, and I think she does a really good job, and I'm so excited to see her, and I'm so excited to see everybody else too. I think they chose such a good cast, I think, and I'm super excited to see them all collaborate and like really embody these characters that we love. I'm so excited to see the world realized, because recently, actually, I had read a series of books when I was a kid, and recently it's been made into a TV show. And like, it doesn't even matter what they got right or what they got wrong to me. It's so cool to see some of the things that I sort of made up in my head while I was reading them, right? And we have images in our heads from Borderlands, obviously, but there's a whole new story I think that's probably going to happen in this movie, right? It's its own arc of the Borderlands universe, and it's going to fit the medium, and they're going to like live action present us with things in the world that we never could have imagined before. And I'm just so excited to see all of the things that they come up with, the characters, the environments, the events that happen between them, everybody being together. It's just going to be so cool. I'm sorry. I'm super fangirling because I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's got it right.
I think Ariana and Jamie Lee are two like that are going to just nail it like 100%.
Jamie Lee Curtis has that eccentric personality that one would need to channel their inner Tannis. So I'm really excited to see how she brings that to the. I'm a Tannis lover. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it. She's number one. I think number two is probably Maya. I'm sorry, Tess. I really love Tannis. She's just my kind of crazy.
Fair.
Very fair, right? So and then when she became a siren, spoilers, that made me really happy too. But
Wait,
what?
I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine can you imagine if Jamie Lee Curtis just sprouts wings and she's like, "Lol, I have control over all technology now." I would be so happy.
Cool.
That's in the sequel. Spoilers. Can you imagine?
We hope.
We hope. Yes. So the movie seems really good. Apropos to nothing, K6, you want to get burgers sometime?
Yes.
Cool. We interviewed 4 leading minds behind Borderlands Science. Talking with Dr. Knight, Dr. Valdishpool, Mr. Santner, and Mr. Richard was a lot of fun. Tess and I had a great time speaking with all 4 of those wonderful gentlemen, and we gained so many cool insights about Borderlands Science and what citizen science is in general. Real quick, because we are pressed for time a little bit now, I just wanted to ask everybody just any anecdotes that they might want to share about Borderlands Science, because it really is a fun game independent of Borderlands itself.
I love it
Poop.
so much.
That's all.
I do.
Speaks for all
it's
of us.
true.
Clean
Yeah.
and poop. Yes. Let's go.
So good. I just think it's so incredibly cool that they were able to implement like a scientific thing and to have us as gamers do work for them while playing a game, and it's furthered their knowledge so much and so fast. One of the things that we got from doing that episode, one of the sort of pieces of knowledge that I didn't even realize was a thing, was we gave them so much information. We're still giving them so much information that it's going to take them many, many years to even sort through it all. Like, gamers are incredibly powerful. All of us, this community, we've seen that with charity streams. We've seen that with Borderlands Science as well. We're capable of so much, putting in so much time and energy, and so many people getting together and doing cool things. And like how much we furthered the science that they're trying to work on and how much information we've given them is beyond even their ability to like deal with it that quickly. And it's amazing. And they're just going to continue to work through it as quickly as they can over the next several years. And like, it'll be really interesting to see in 5 years, in 10 years, what the results are then. Because right now they've gotten so much information. They've gotten a ton of results from it already. And it's a really, really amazing example of how the gaming industry and the scientific sort of academic, not industry, but zone can come together. And it's just really exciting to see where it goes and what the results tell us like 10 years from now. I really want to see, I want to come back and do like a Bordercast with those Borderlands Science developers and talk to them and see what some of the results are then. That'll be really, really cool to see.
Very much so. Bunkers and Badasses finally made it to all of our doorstops. So, first question, has anybody here on the panel actually had a chance to play it yet?
Not yet.
No.
K6?
Soon.
Nope, not yet.
It has been the holiday season, so I am not terribly surprised. And then, of course, we have some unfortunate global affairs that are kind of rearing its ugly head, hopefully in its last death throes gasp. But I could understand why that is. What are your plans, though, everybody, for when you do get a chance to play?
Definitely gonna have Vanderforge be my bunker master.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He's ever since it was released, he's wanted to get a whole bunch of people playing it all at the same time, and I think that'd be absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah.
So
this would be my first too. I've never.
I
done,
know, same. So that
never
would
done
be
anything.
insane if we can get that going.
It's so much fun. I love doing roleplay stuff like this, tabletop RPG stuff like this. So of course I want to see a show happen. I want to be a part of one. I maybe even want to do one, host one myself. I don't know. I've never been a bunker master or dungeon master or anything, so that would be very new for me. But possibly. One of the things that makes it a little bit of a challenge, I think, and probably why nobody's seen a show yet, because it did just launch. It is holidays. Mitsu's absolutely right, but also a lot of the current kind of tabletop shows, D&D itself and many others, are they have an online version that people can play so that the math, because there's a lot of math involved, and all of that stuff is done for them, and they can do it more easily in a fair way, like online via like Zoom and things like that, right? Roll20, D&D Beyond, there's a lot of different kind of formats out there. Sheriff Pyrek, I believe, who is an amazing showrunner over at the Borderlands official Discord, is working on getting Bunkers and Badasses into one of these online platforms. So if anybody has any help or tips or advice, throw them at me on Twitter. That's definitely a thing that I think will make it much easier. So hopefully, eventually, once the holidays are over, we can find a way to make this work for everybody and make it a little bit easier, because definitely, like, it's really fun being able to roll the dice yourself, but like going through the math, especially if you're doing a show on Twitch and streaming, it's a lot. So it would be really great to have like an online kind of version, or to input it into one of the online systems that already exist, right? It'll make it easier for viewers to understand. It'll make it easier for the players to play and for the DMs or the bunker masters to run. So I think it's just going to take a little bit of time, but we'll hopefully see a lot more shows popping up after the new year, which is so soon.
And as a quick aside, the board game and the tabletop game go hand in hand, because if you get that Ultimate Collector's Edition, especially, you're getting probably somewhere in excess of 200 figurines, maybe more. I might be lowballing that by a lot. But you would be getting tons and tons of figures that you could also use with Bunkers and Badasses, the actual tabletop game. So if you love the series that much, definitely consider getting both. Obviously, I already have, but I can't wait to actually use them in Bunkers and Badasses, the actual proper tabletop, and see how that goes. All right. There is your year. I didn't put it in the notes, but I'm just going to have a special mention. Congratulations again to Gearbox for their new budding partnership with Embracer as well. That was a big deal, and hopefully that leads to bigger and better things in 2022. Words. I'm going to start with Moxsy. I'm going to start with you. If you'd like to take a few minutes to say a few words now that we've reached the end of the program and the end of the year, please take the time. Whatever you'd like to share, say, plug, go ahead. You have the floor.
Pressure. Just want to say thank you to Gearbox for another amazing year of support, to all the people that support all the amazing Borderlands creators here and in chat and elsewhere. You guys are incredible. Thank you for watching us and supporting us. It really means the world. And thank you to Mitsu and Tess for running this awesome show and having me on as guest. Appreciate it. And yeah, let's go Wonderlands.
I like that. We have to get the team scarves made up now, or jerseys or something like that.
That'd be great.
Yep. MystiqueSiren, you are next.
Okay. So I told Tess, I was like, I'm gonna cry. I probably wouldn't be here where I'm at today as a streamer, as a content creator, if it wasn't for Borderlands. I took a chance on a wacky, crazy looking game on the shelves of video game store, back when Borderlands first came out. And it's just like, if I wouldn't have played Borderlands back when it first came out, if I wouldn't have taken the chance, I don't know that I would be into streaming. I don't know that I would be as into gaming as I am. And I don't think I would have found, as many other great communities after getting into looter shooters. So, thank you to just the community for always making the Borderlands directories feel like home. Even if you've been away for a few days, a week, a month, a year, you come back and people are just like, we missed you, like, welcome back. And Borderlands 2 was the very first game that I ever bought a collector's edition for, and I'm not stopping now. I'm gonna keep every single Borderlands or Borderlands related game. It's just I'm gonna get the best thing, because I want to support the developers. I want to support the company, because they are in turn supporting me, and believing in me and taking a chance on me as a content creator. So thank you, Gearbox, and thank you, Borderlands, and thank you to everybody in the community, for just being my friend. You guys are great. I love you. Mwah. Thank you.
Tweety?
And I didn't cry.
Yeah.
I think everyone here can say that the Borderlands community is absolute top tier when it comes to the people around, the amount of support that everybody gives each other, whether that's just being a streamer, being just a person in the community. Like, you go into any Borderlands chat, I tell you, you're going to find somebody you know, whether it's from a different stream. It is incredible. You just go in and say hi, and everybody else is like, oh, hi, how's it going? It's so good, and I love this community. Of course, I wouldn't be here without it. It's absolutely incredible, and the amount of support that we all share each other and give each other is insane, absolutely insane. As you can see with charity and everything else, it's absolutely incredible. I can't find any other community that's about as crazy as we are, in a good way, of course. But thank you for everything that you've done for me and everybody else. We all thank you so much. And we really all wouldn't be here without every single one of you and all of your support. So I appreciate all of you, and looking forward to Wonderlands, and that is going to bring a lot of people back, and it's going to be so insane as well. Super excited for it.
Killer 6, you're usually a man of few words. What do you got for us, bud?
Thanks. Mitsu, Tess, you guys do amazing work. I appreciate you guys. The community, like everybody said, this community is amazing. I want to send a special thank you to Noelle, who always goes above and beyond to try and drop in on people's streams and make sure that our communication gets heard by devs. Also want to thank Josh from 2K, who he was actually the impetus for doing the winter hunt. He had said, hey, do you guys think maybe you could do a winter one before Wonderlands comes out? And I was like, that's a great idea. Mental Mars, another community badass. Want to say thanks to him. Big shout out to Jolts, dude. I know that he's going through a bit of a rough patch right now. So everybody in chat, just say thanks, Jolts, dude, real quick. And,
we miss you, bud.
Yeah,
thank you.
We do. We miss Jolts real bad. So, but yeah, man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. It's been an amazing year. And that's all I got to say.
Ass.
Oh God. Okay. Mystique and I, we had this conversation last night. Not crying. Not crying.
It's fine.
Oh God.
These aren't tears.
Yeah, I'm wearing waterproof makeup just in case. Seriously, definitely to echo K6. First off, Jolts, I feel your pain. It's, man, it just sucks when you can't do what you love for any reason. And so like all the love his way, and we're so lucky to have him in this community, and we're so lucky to have Subpar Lover in this community, who has gone through a cancer scare this year, or cancer experience this year. He's fighting it like nobody's business and kicking butt. And we have so many incredible people in this community. Every single one of you guys sitting in this call with me right now, every single streamer, Mental Mars, who has hosted this incredible website that helped, me and Mitsu so much this whole time, Sheriff Pyrek, and like all of the mods and all of the showrunners over at the Borderlands Discord. You guys are all amazing. To everybody at 2K and Gearbox, I mean, Noelle, of course, who's always here and always stopping by streams and being amazing. Max Babin and Matt Cox and Mario Rodriguez and a whole bunch of other, Graham, of course. Everybody that interacts with us on Twitter, in our streams, stops by and is just so, they're so clearly so passionate about this game and this community and the creator community, and just listening to everybody and trying to give us the best possible experience. Randy said something, like somewhere in the very beginning when Borderlands was launching. I remember when we went to the reveal event, and he said something on Twitter about how all they want to do is make sure we're all having as much fun as possible. Like that's their entire goal as developers and as people that make these beautiful experiences for us to enjoy every single day on our PCs at home together with friends in every way possible. And I feel like they've done that so much in so many ways. And I mean, everybody that we worked with at 2K, everybody that does PR and everybody that does everything there, Josh and Scott and everybody, Cammy, and just all the other people, Leviathan Core that we worked with, that like manages to wrangle all of us creators, which is a really difficult job. It's worse than herding cats. Trust me, we know. We appreciate everything they do so much. They work so hard on Next Makers and all that stuff. The fact that the Next Makers program even exists is wild. I just feel like we're so incredibly lucky, and every single one of you in this community, just a huge, massive thank you. I also, like, to echo what MystiqueSiren said, I also wouldn't be here still as a streamer, and I don't think I would know any of you guys or would have this incredible life that I'm so lucky to have. I wouldn't have my health the same way that I have now. I wouldn't have the friends that I have now. I definitely wouldn't be as happy. I don't even know where I would be if not for Borderlands, because when I started streaming almost 8 years ago, I streamed some other game for like 2 days, and a viewer came in and recommended I try out Borderlands 2, and I was like, sure. And literally the rest is history. I ended up getting partnered because of that, because a Twitch staff member who loved Borderlands came into my channel. We started talking, and he was like, oh, you're having so much fun and talking to people. You should take this more seriously. And then he introduced me to the Borderlands 2K crew, and literally the rest is history. And it's just been a wild, incredible ride. And I'm so excited for what comes next. And I just feel incredibly lucky to be here and to get to know all of you guys. And a huge, massive thank you goes to Mitsu, who has been my partner in crime this whole time, who writes incredible scripts for all of our shows and like watches everywhere. I mean, I read the Discord and Reddit a lot, but Mitsu literally is everywhere. He's on Twitter, he's in Discord, he's on Reddit, he's on like Medium, he's on all the platforms. He knows every little bit of what's going on in this community and just has such a pulse on on everything, and he somehow condenses it into something that makes sense for an hour-long show every week. It's mind-blowing to me. So I'm just so lucky that I got to know you and work with you, and I'm so excited for what we're going to do in the future. To all of the other creators as well, Liz and Triple and Dammit and everybody, just there's so many incredible people in this community, and I think we're very lucky to be a part of it, and very, very lucky to have been able to put on this show for you guys. And I'm going to shut up because I could keep talking forever, and I'm definitely going to start crying. So,
Tweety and I forgot to thank our dad, K6.
And Moxsy. I mean, it's all of our dads.
And Tess and Brofish here. Sorry, it says Brofish on
yes,
on our end.
We love you. Hey, Mitsu wouldn't be here if not for her. He's literally using her setup.
Very true. Yeah,
that's actually true. I am reporting live. I think my wife probably just got home very recently. She just got her booster shot too. So after this, I'll probably go celebrate with her and then have to take care of her for the next 2 days because that booster is probably going to kick her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is poopy butts, but it is probably important. The right call.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. What a long, strange trip it has been. These 2.5 years have been a wild ride, right from that reveal in Los Angeles to right now. And here we sit celebrating the life of yet another successful entry into the Borderlands franchise. But as with all good things, good and bad, they must come to an end, and so too must the Bordercast. For now, we're going to take a short amount of time to regather ourselves in January as we focus on some new projects including some fun ideas for the 2K Next Makers program. When we do return, however, we are very pleased to announce that the Bordercast is in fact becoming the Wondercast. How that name actually came to be, as obvious and easy as it is a story for another day, but that is neither here nor there. We have tremendous plans for what we would like this show to look like in the new year, and we wish to elevate our humble ragtag podcast into something just a tad more refined. And so with that in mind, I would like to extend several thank yous to those who have made this possible over the past 2 years. This show would not be possible without all the support from everyone at 2K Games, including Scott, Josh, Brandon, Billy, Max, and Joseph. And over at Gearbox, it would not be possible without a huge thank you to Noel for being the absolute best community manager in the history of all community managers, and a friend of the show that we haven't had on yet, Grumble, as well as Graham, Anthony, Mario, Vanessa, Amy, Max, Matt, Steve, and of course, the big guy himself, Randy Pitchford, plus everyone and anyone at Gearbox who we have yet to meet, but watches and supports the show in their own ways. We love this series, we really do, and we look forward to Wonderlands. To Liz, Swifty5, my best woman, our host extraordinaire of Ultimate Vault Hunters, a consummate professional, a brilliant mind, and a true friend who was a joy to work with on Ultimate Vault Hunters, a show that I have high hopes we can retool and bring back for Wonderlands one day. Plus a few other things that, are redacted and all. There's stories for another time, I promise. To everybody at Kinda Funny, including Greg, Fran, and Roger, their wonderful editor, for bringing us the Borderlands Show, Ask a Psycho, which I personally loved, as we all seem to have, and for teaching me how to be a better interviewer, a better writer, and a better broadcaster. I really do hope we get to work together again very soon. To the entire team at Leviathan Core, including and especially George, Corey, Joe Chuck, and Edward, who've provided a lot of back-end support and encouragement to bring the show where it is right now. And a tremendous shout out to all of our friends at AMD, including Leslie, who has been an immense resource in helping both supply the show and inform the show from that technical standpoint. I mean that quite literally. The computers at my house and the computers here in Canada are all AMD provided, and they are absolutely extraordinary. A huge shout out goes out to the entire content creation team, including our esteemed guests here on the panel today. That's all of you, by the way, as well as the entire extended team, including but not limited to Triple G, Jolt's Dude, who we really hope gets better very soon. We miss you, bud. Quag, Depresticles, Epic NNG, Lazy Data, the entire Aussie squad, and so many more, as well as our unofficial producers this year, Mental Mars and Sheriff Pyrrhic, who have done an amazing job helping us organize several segments on air, as well as their participation and organization for the hunt and the official Borderlands Discord. To all of you who have watched the show, who have tweeted about it, left a comment on the YouTube section, even if it's something as trite as cringe, or even left us on in the background while you were doing something else like cooking, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting the show. You have literally helped us build this program brick by brick, and we hope the Wondercast will continue that level of quality you've come to expect, and that we surpass your expectations in the year ahead. For every single member of the Borderlands community as a whole, with whom without, first blunder of the entire speech, this series would not exist. Perhaps the singular most loyal, charitable, and enthusiastic fandom I have ever witnessed, let alone have the genuine honor to be a part of. A very special thank you to our good friend of the show, Mel, with whom this all would not have been possible at all, or have come to pass as it has, who changed my life personally for the better by affording me this opportunity to host this show and pushing me to be a better person, both in this industry and in life. And finally, a gigantic thank you to Tess. Tessichka, I finally got it right. My co-host with the most. An overused cliche, but it is true. Tess does so much work behind the scenes. She's not only responsible for hosting this show, but putting up with me, as well as doing the graphics, the transitions, and all of the show editing, which is oft a thankless job of long nights, too much coffee, and repetition beyond measure. I am in awe of your work, my friend, and I am grateful that you are my co-host, privileged to call you a friend as such. I'm immensely grateful for our partnership as well, and I hope it will continue into the new year and beyond with the Wondercast and so many other projects to come. I've said it before, and I will say it again. This little show has had a big, and I mean big, impact on our lives here on the program, how Borderlands is seen by the wider world, and while it might be anecdotal, the gaming industry in general. Content creators like Tess and myself working hand in hand with developers and publishers like Gearbox and 2K has been a deep-seated belief in my heart for the better part of 10 years. And to be on the cutting edge of that relationship growing between the two sides of the greater gaming industry as a whole is one of the largest honors of my life. Thank you, everyone. It has been an amazing year. I love doing this show, and we really wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. Okay. Plugs. Tweety, go first.
Name is TweetyExpert, as it's spelled. On Twitter, Twitch, mostly playing a lot of games. Super excited for Wonderlands, and that's all it's gonna be for once that comes out. That's it. So super excited. Thank you for having me on. It's always been a pleasure being on.
Thank you. Moxsy.
Moxsy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
K6.
You can find me at the usual spots, Killer6 on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. My cat meowed when she came in the room. I don't know if you got that. It was adorable.
No, but you could meow if you want. MystiqueSiren, now that you've got all the tears out of your eyes.
So it is MystiqueSiren on everything. I was lucky enough to get it absolutely everywhere. Mystique, MYSTIQUE, just like our anti-hero that we all love, blue anti-hero that we all love. And Siren is wee woo wee woo. I had to do it. I had to do it for
You
Mitsu.
said the thing.
I had to do it one more time.
She said the thing.
I had to do it. But Siren is just spelled like Borderlands Siren, and wonder where that came from. Yeah, and I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. So I'll see you there.
Tess.
Tessa, CHKA, or Tessachka on Twitch, Tess Games on Twitter and Instagram. Hopefully live on the Wonderlands channel eventually, if that's a thing. I'm just honestly like, thank you so much, literally everyone. Mitsu, where can they find you? Because you're awesome.
Twitter.com/Mitsu Show, MITSUSHOW, and Twitch.tv/Mitsu, MITSU, and Instagram. Whenever I'm posting scientific, not really scientific, videos of me throwing boiling water in frigid temperatures and watching it immediately turn into snow. That was fun.
It was super cool.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Cool. That's good. That's really good. That's real good. All right. There is nothing left to say. The year is done, and we venture boldly into the unknown, for who knows what 2022 will bring. So for one final time, on behalf of Tess, myself, and the entire content creation team, thank you so much for joining us as you do every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.